Son, where'd you find this?
Don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who acts like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico. They never lie.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late. They cancel last minute. Forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring. I'm so boss, we're not the same. Paid the cost and kept the change. Now I'm walking Hall of Fame. And I reside in the cloud. Grand wishes with these bitches. Taking pictures with the crowd, and I'm out.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Shout outs to the people. Shout outs to my poets, writers, content creators. Shout outs to everybody that's been showing love to the channel the last few months. I appreciate y'all. You see the title. You see what we about to get into. I got a clip for y'all. We gonna run them numbers up. Do me a solid like, share, repost. Let the people know that we are on and we about to get active over here on this side of the internet. This is scary. Very scary. And before I go there, I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna let you see it for yourself before the stream is over. Hopefully y'all have a conversation with your loved ones just about how serious these type of things can be when you have somebody as immature as this woman is, responsible for your life or someone else's life that you might be close to. You might want to pay attention to this. Just might. Big screen. Let's get it.
Court-appointed attorney Williams refused to answer any questions on why she allegedly hung up on people calling 911 for help. But prosecutors did talk to us, saying in the two cases that they've looked at so far, Williams hung up on callers using the emergency line. One caller was trying to report a store robbery that resulted in a clerk being killed. Another caller was trying to report illegal street racing. Now, on that call, Williams's voice was recorded, and you won't believe what prosecutors say they heard from Williams's own mouth.
There was one recording where she hung up on a gentleman who was calling to report people who were racing on the freeways. And after the phone call is disconnected, you can still hear her speaking. And what she says is, ain't nobody got time for this for real.
43-year-old Crenshanda Williams, she's charged in 2 other cases. According to police, thousands of 911 calls made between October 2015 and March 2016 are attributed to Williams. The lady who called us, Sharon Stevens, says on March 1st, she passed out in her yard due to a blood clot. Her husband called 911 for help, and Williams, she says, answered that call.
She was gasping, and I could feel her heart beating out of her chest, but I couldn't get a pulse. I had Red Cross training and CERT training,
right,
and I kept working on her. I called 911, and she said, "This is Crenshanda. May I help you?" I said, "Yes, my wife's passed out. I need an ambulance." When she said, "Okay," and she hangs up on me.
I was furious because he didn't tell me, because I would have gotten from my hospital bed and gone to 911 to find out who did that to me. Because it could have been somebody else and they could have died.
Yeah, now they say it took a second call to 911 to get an ambulance here. And as you can see, happily, Miss Stevens survived.
Court with a court-appointed.
Yo, that shit is diabolical. We need a new word. I'm tired of diabolical. I see that in every post. Like, it's gotten to the point to where now I'm using this shit. I don't like the word, but I can't think of nothing else that describes that. Let's be real here. It only takes a split second for things to go completely sour. You making funeral arrangements for a niece, a nephew, a aunt, a grandmother. Dispatchers have some of the most difficult jobs. I don't know personally what it's like to be on that receiving end of the phone call, having to pick up something and then be calm, and you got to follow all types of guidelines and rules to keep the other person comfortable and safe, and you want them to feel like, okay, everything's going to be handled properly. I wouldn't know what that feels like. I can't imagine. But to tell me that you have adults that take this type of job and they don't care about the position that they take. You just see a paycheck and you got a couple of little loopholes you might be able to follow to get you out of doing some actual work. That's bullshit. That's foul as hell. And one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight this post was specifically because, I mean, we talk about damn near everything up here. Relationships, celebrity shit, the Epstein stuff, so on and so on. But I wanted to highlight how important it is that we put respect on the men and women who take certain jobs serious, like firefighters, EMTs, folks that's going into burning houses, risking their own life. The odds of them coming out of it unscathed decrease depending on the situation. These folks don't get the same level of notoriety or respect that they deserve. There's a lot of jobs out here that most of us would never take on. We want comfort. We're not about to sit up here and do the dangerous shit, the rough and egregious stuff, you know. And there's folks that's willing to step in front of the bullet and take the charge, even at the risk of them not being able to see their family one more time. And I think we need to put more respect on that. Here's my issue. I have a love for anybody who is going into the sewers, climbing these poles to fix the transformers, to get our power going during storms and all that. What I have a problem with is adults who take jobs for the paycheck. I can't stand it. I get it. The economy is not very friendly to most of us. We need every single cent, every dollar. And most of us take jobs that we don't necessarily want, but hell, need them. This is what's hiring. Shit, I done filled out applications for jobs that I ain't got no qualifications for, but guess what? I need that check. Shit, these bills, they're not gonna stop. They calling me Mr. Bill Collector, needing my money, know what's up tonight. And if you're running off with me cash, that's why I have to pay the price. I ain't got time for it. I done worked in places where I couldn't stand it. That's not my thing. The economy is set up that way. They got us in a chokehold. Well, at least they think they do. So we just out here doing things that we shouldn't be doing. Some of y'all shouldn't be nurses. Some of y'all should not be taking care of old people at all. Why are you a nurse? Why are you a CNA? Y'all up there clapping cheeks and dancing on these old heads' faces and twerking on these old men and doing all this foul shit for TikTok. Some of y'all should not be doing any of them jobs, but you do them. Why? Because you only care about the money. That's all you're concerned about. You don't give a shit about human nature at all. I'm over it. And then when you take these jobs, you be having the crappiest attitudes. Your communication skills are trash. You don't talk to the pedestrians right. The patrons that's coming into the store ordering their food be having shitty attitudes. Y'all spitting in people's stuff behind the scenes. I don't know how y'all still going to these restaurants, McDonald's and all that, and they doing Lord knows what to the nah. Let them have a bad day. Let them have a bad day. It's over. Hold up. I gotta get something up here real quick. Why do you take the job if you don't want it? Seriously. And then complain about it. You knew you didn't want the job when you got it. In a perfect world, everybody would be doing exactly what they dreamed of, what your heart desired. That's not the world we in. But you take these jobs and then you give half-ass performances. And then when people get on your helmet about the shit, you've got a nasty attitude. Fuck that got to do with me. I ain't the one who forced you to do this job. I didn't tell you to fill out that application. You filled it out. So if you're going to do the job, make sure you put your heart and your soul into it. Because guess what? It's life or death. In some cases, mishandle somebody's food, they can get sick. You don't wire something back properly, you can cause an electrical fire. Hold on. My bad. I had to bring that up real quick. How can I say this? This woman ignored over 1,000 emergency calls. 1,000. Y'all don't know this. I did a reaction video a few weeks ago. It wasn't even really that long ago. There was a 23-year-old woman with the same job. Guess what? She got fired for the same thing. The only difference is she didn't go to jail for it. They just released her. And then the part that tripped me out was the person that they released, the caller ended up losing their life over that. So it's like, what fixed you to go online, fill out these forms, put in your resume, do the interviews, get dressed up, give your best, if that's what you even consider it, going out of your way to make sure that you impress the manager and whoever's interviewing you, because you want them to believe that you're going to do right according to the guidelines. You're going to respect the company, the brand. And it's for nothing. It's all for nothing. You just want the money. How do you live with yourself? 1,000 calls you drop? Do you know how many people could be still here right now? Do you know how many people right now could have gotten proper help? All it takes is 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's bad enough the EMTs take forever to get to certain places. You got traffic, you got this, you got that. They need to be on the way as soon as possible. I don't care if the person fell down the steps and broke a hip. I don't care if it was an asthma attack. Your ass pick up every call and you handle those calls and you make sure that these people get the help that they need. Otherwise, you shouldn't even be working there in the beginning. Now, this might not be a big to the public. It's not tantalizing. It's not degrading. It's not necessarily one of those big scandals that you see on social media on a daily basis. I think this is dead on serious. I think this should be addressed and should be highlighted way more than it is. If your loved ones, your grandmother, somebody failed, you at work, they managed to get somebody on the phone and then they get hung up on. So your folks is just laying there. They ain't got nobody to come in and help them get up. They can't move. If they move, they might make the injury worse than what it is. It might not even be nothing. You don't really know. They might have, a kid might have swallowed a button, a toy. And you tell me that we got grown adults, your age and my age, on the other line, and they say, "Oh, I ain't got time for this," or they hang up on you. You hang up on me. Yeah, I think that is a problem. I think that's a huge problem. I think people should really be bothered by that. We are too desensitized to things that should be important. This is extremely serious. This is the second one. I don't know how many more there are. I could only imagine at this point. The first one that I came across, it was a 23-year-old black woman. This is the second one that's popped up on my Instagram. I'm going to assume I'm going to see more of this. I'm either covering stories about adults preying on kids, or it's a disease that's getting spread and nobody's divulging information about their sexual prowess or their endeavors outside of the marital home. Those seem to be the main ones that I keep on seeing. Or is someone getting shot and killed over some gang violence, some stupid shit. You want the optimal chance of survival. You're not going to put somebody on your team that's not going to be an integral part of it. You're not going to put somebody on your debate team that they can't carry their weight. You don't want somebody in office that's going to do a half-ass job and make promises that they can't keep. You see what's happening in the country. They're all failing. All of them get F minuses all across the board. All of them doing a piss poor job. Nobody wants a child doing a man's job, a woman's job. And I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. And I feel like as much as people claim to be adults and to be mature and know how to handle life and know how to compartmentalize things according, social media has highlighted y'all characters in such a negative way. It's absolutely comical. 30, 40, 50 years old. You don't know how to date. You don't know how to give advice. You don't know how to take advice. You're miserable. You're bitter. You're manipulative. You're overly sexual. You lack empathy for anybody. No compassion whatsoever. Everything is about your device, being on your cell phone and capturing the moment. When it comes to actually being a part of healing an issue, when it comes to actually being a service to humankind, you are absent. You are nowhere to be found. Tell us the comment section. Oh, you got everything to say in the comment section. Why isn't this a bigger discussion? I haven't seen this anywhere. I'm sure if I typed it in, it might pop up, but it's not trending. There should be a trending conversation. People should be fired up. How do you ignore 1,000 phone calls? Matter of fact, let's do this. How long have you been working here? Do you have overseers? I don't know how that works. I don't know who monitors that. How long have you been here? 1,000. Nobody noticed. Nobody said anything about that. It took you 1,000 missed calls. It took this woman to hang up on that many people for y'all to say, oh, hold up, something ain't right here. We need to go ahead and figure out what's going on. Because now people are getting hurt, seriously getting hurt. And it's all falling back to her. Now we need to pay attention to it. Why wasn't you paying attention to it before? The level of incompetence. I don't just blame her. They got to get some of this too. How does somebody go that far and get away with that for so long before you do something about it? You're supposed to cut the root and pluck that out as soon as you see the problem growing, you don't wait 2, 3, 4 months for that. You handle that immediately. We need order. We need structure. We need balance. We need accountability. Your staff cannot be insubordinate. They shouldn't even feel like they could get away with doing stuff like that at all. There's some jobs where you can bullshit around here and there, and you can kind of let a little bit kind of go, depending on what it is. Not this, not as no EMT. You can't slack on that. You cannot take a vacation on being an EMT. So I need to know how do you just allow somebody to do that for that long without there being any type of pushback whatsoever. That's one of the issues I have with our community, man. Y'all ungrateful. You don't appreciate your jobs. You don't appreciate your jobs. You abuse your positions of power. You give people responsibilities. If they don't measure up, you don't handle the problem the way that you're supposed to. While you got Becky and Ken over here who picking up multiple phone calls, doing more work than they should have to, because Eric, James, and Trini, they over here playing solitaire on the laptop or some shit while phone calls are coming in. And like, I don't understand y'all. Some of y'all managers, y'all don't even deserve to be managers. You'll punish the ones who's doing the best work. You won't say nothing to the ones who ain't doing nothing. But then you won't even give jobs to the people who actually need the jobs and actually are willing to go above and beyond to do the jobs. 1,000. I didn't say 1 or 10. I might have a little more leniency on 1, and that's because as far as I'm concerned, shit, that 1 call could be it. For real, doing that one call and you drop them, I'm firing you. You can't work here no more. Hell no. You don't know what's going to be a life or death situation. It could be a bomb threat. You don't know what the hell you're walking into. Don't do a job that you ain't willing to really pour into with all your heart. You ain't got time for this. You don't got time for this. Well, I ain't got time to pay you. I ain't got time to make sure that check comes to you on Thursday, Wednesday, or Friday. Oh, you on a vacation? Sorry, can't help you out. The call wasn't that serious. Who you lying to? That's stupid. I don't have respect for people who abuse these jobs and these positions. There's folks that really need work. They on the street. They on their last legs. They never complain. There's always the ones who are used to struggling, who never have anything to complain about. They are the most humble people on the planet. The ones that never had shit, so they had to adapt to never having nothing and appreciating the little that those are always the best people to hire. Those are the ones that you should always depend on. I think they're more dependable than folks that are given everything. or they just don't know the value of struggling. Y'all be too spoiled. Way too spoiled. Ain't no excuse for that, man. None. I don't care what you say. 1,000, you ignore 1,000 calls. One, you done. 1,000 is crazy. So what was you doing all that time when you was dropping them calls? What was your schedule looking like? I remember I was talking to a driver. They told me that they were a dispatcher. They liked the job, but they really kind of didn't like the job because the amount of pressure that gets put on dispatchers. Like, I didn't really realize how much y'all had to really pour into that. Like, you're literally working 12, 13 hours or more or something. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't. But to me, anybody who is willing to do that, and you're really not getting the type of time off to recoup, to get your body right, to get your mental state right, because I know that's got to be a really draining job. You got people crying, you got people screaming, they frantic. You might be in a situation where the person is trying to resuscitate somebody. Imagine her picking up the call. You trying to give mouth to mouth to somebody. You don't know nothing about it. You don't know how to properly inject a shot if they got diabetes or something. She pick up the phone. You need her to give you a step-by-step on how to keep this person alive as long as possible until somebody come and she hang up on you. If you even get that far. You know, that should remind me of when you call customer service and they don't be trying to give you a real human, so they put you on with a robot. You know what I'm talking about? You got to press 20 buttons to finally get to an actual person because the robot can't really help you. And then when they finally give you the option to talk to somebody, you get put on hold for 30 minutes. Tell me I'm lying. You sit on the phone for 30, 40 minutes.
Network.
You sit on the phone for 30, 40 minutes, hearing that awful music. FYI, y'all need to change y'all music up. Give us something better to listen to while we on this call. So you on the phone with them for 30, 40 minutes. If you patient, because you might get a phone call. You've been waiting for them to call, but because you've been on this phone for 30 minutes, you committed. You want to see this all the way through, but they finally come over after you waiting, and then they hang up on you. I'll be mad as shit. I done sat here for 30 minutes. You finally pick up. I give you my information. Then as soon as you start typing, you pull it up, you get to talking, and then you get that click. This is what that reminds me of. Except the only difference is she seemed like she just was like, man, Bad Girls Club is on right now. I got 10 minutes left to my shift over. I'm not taking no more calls. I got 30 more minutes left in my shift. I'm not taking no more calls. That's what that sound like. Why? Why would you even do that? And now what? It's over with for you. You done already told us exactly what we need to know. You ain't got no excuse for that. There's nothing that you can say that's going to convince me. You're going to tell me that you can stand in front of a trial and a jury of 12 people and a bunch of disgruntled parents and uncles and etc., and you can explain why you dropped the cause of 1,000 people. You can really do that. All right. Let me go ahead and grab me some popcorn. Let me get comfortable. Guy got me a drink. Let's see it. Let's see what you got. I want to see you convince me that you had perfect reason and a great explanation for why you hung up on all of these people. And then I want to hear from the commanding officer, the GM, and everybody involved. I want to know, how'd you find out that she wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing? Then I want to hear how you could allow somebody to continuously drop all of these phone calls and not say a word or not do anything at all. If I'm one of these parents or one of these people that was involved, like that woman that just popped up on the screen and she said, I wish I would have known, because she was struggling to breathe and all that. You tell them, you explain to them how this works. If you couldn't handle the job, give it to somebody who was more qualified. You don't hang up on people. Give it to somebody who knew what to do in that situation. But you want the job so that you can just get your easy check and go home. And we got too many people doing these jobs and they don't care about your health one bit. So as far as I'm concerned, I hate to be a lawyer of a criminal. I could never be a lawyer. Never. I probably would never get a case because I couldn't defend somebody that is guilty. Like you're not hypothetically guilty. It's not a what if, it's not a maybe. You are 1,000% guilty, my nigga.
How dare you?
I couldn't take that job. I wouldn't know how to sleep myself, especially if you successfully can get a convicted felon off. Nah, I don't know how y'all do it. I'd only want to defend those who actually deserve to be defended. Get the innocent out of jail. This woman, you got the money. I don't know if that was a public defender or what, but you clearly had the resources to get somebody to help you out in this case, because you would have been a short. I wish you the best. Whatever comes from it, I know damn well after this, I don't know if you're going to jail. I don't know what her situation is going to look like after this. I would look at that resume. Let's fast forward. These are my closing remarks. Let's fast forward. The trial is over. The people vocalize their feelings about it. The smoke settles. People forget that she did what she did. We go on about our life. She tries to go and find her another job and live a normal life afterwards. I'm an employer. I see that on your resume. I'm laughing. That's got to, anybody who hire her, and it sounds messed up to say, like, don't give a person a second chance or whatever, but I ask y'all this question. Leave me a comment in the comment section if you want. This woman ignores 1,000 911 emergency calls. She goes to trial. We don't know the outcome. You're a juror, or you're a family member of someone who suffered because of it, or you're an employer. She wants to work for you. Do you hire her? Do you hire her? That's all I need to know. If you're in that situation where you had the power to give her employment, do you say, well, I give her the benefit of the doubt, she's reformed, she's changed, she won't do it no more. What's the harm? Or do you weigh out the risk and really want to put yourself in that situation? If I could sue, I would definitely sue. This happened under your watch. My little niece was damn near on her deathbed. Your dispatcher hung up on me. Y'all had a track record of all of her indiscretions. You're not going to tell me you didn't. I got the receipts. You're about to get a civil case for sure. Everybody not just going to be lackadaisical about stuff like this. I know most people probably don't care, and this is an insignificant thing. Nah. Sorry. No can do. I ain't. You'll find a job somewhere. It won't be here. You're going to have to work somewhere where it's not dealing with emergency situations, because you come off as you're not reliable, you're lazy, you're entitled, you believe that you're untouchable, you can do whatever you want, and you don't respect my code of ethic here. Nah, I'll pass on you. I wish you the best. Not here. And I'm taking y'all to court, because to me, y'all could have done something about her a long time ago. but y'all didn't. How many more cases are like this? How many more situations resemble this right here, where you got adults putting our health at risk just so that they can get that automatic wire transfer to their account the next day, and they can go out and blow it on whatever they're doing it on. Not doing it. No way. You ain't got time for this. I can't really believe you said that. The audacity. The literal audacity. Sad part is, I think we've all been around somebody on the job who are lazy. They get away with stuff. They put all of the grunt work on you, and they take credit for it, or try to take credit for it. I don't think there's a single person here who hasn't dealt with that before. I'm almost certain of it. And so while I have my my reservations with a lot of people on these jobs doing construction and all that, I know all of y'all not bad. I know we still got some good, decent, honorable people out here that they love their community. They don't want to see no harm come to nobody. They just want people to get to and fro safe as possible. But the rest of y'all, stop hiring your cousins. Stop hiring your family members. Stop it. Just stop hiring your people, man. Please. For the love of it.
I'll be back.
The nepotism. If they good workers, cool. But come on, man. Y'all be letting people get these positions, and you know damn well they not about to do what they supposed to be doing. They be high, they be drunk, they be all over the place, just doing whatever. Nah, man, come on. Come on. What are y'all thoughts, man? How would y'all handle the situation? Shout outs to the people in the building. I appreciate y'all for hanging out this evening. We got to do better. My thoughts and prayers go out to anybody right now that is dealing with this or have ever dealt with this. Matter of fact, has anyone here or anyone who watches back, has anyone ever been in the situation where a dispatcher handled them inappropriately like this? Share your story. I want to hear. I want to hear from you. Because I know this ain't the first. Matter of fact, this is my second, but I know there's more. I know it is. Anyway, man, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a blessed one. You know what I'm saying? Morning show tomorrow. Tap in. If you available, you might be at work. If so, Bluetooth. Come chop it up with us. I'm out. I'm about to get back in the lab. But y'all be easy. Do me a solid before you go if you don't mind.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick